Forget artificial intelligence chips as the whole story. The provocative question is whether computers can be built partly from living brain cells. This is not science fiction, and it is not promise of replacing today's processors tomorrow. Researchers can keep living human neurons in contained lab cultures, connect them to electronics, and study them as hardware. This field is often called wetware computing. The problem is measuring whether biology processes information differently enough to matter. The benchmark becomes the control artifact. The reason this matters is not magic intelligence. It is measurement. Digital computers are powerful because they are precise, fast, and repeatable. They execute instructions the same way, again and again. Biological neural networks are interesting for the opposite reason. They adapt, respond to patterns, and change through learning. So the benchmark has to fit the task, comparing accuracy, speed, energy use, learning, and consistency instead of declaring one side the winner. Energy is one of the biggest reasons researchers care. The human brain runs on roughly 20 watts, which makes brain-like efficiency a serious inspiration. But the boundary is important. A brain organoid or neural culture is small experimental tissue in a dish, not a complete human brain and not a miniature person. The goal is narrow. Test whether neurons could provide efficient adaptation for specific workloads, not broad general computing. Here is how the interface works in practical terms. Living neurons can grow on a microelectrode array, a device with tiny electrodes that send and record electrical signals. Stimulation becomes input. Neural activity becomes output. Software then closes the loop by adjusting signals based on what the cells do next. That makes biology accessible, like experimental hardware, but not easy to program. Researchers are still discovering the rules for instructing living networks. The engineering reality is much harder than the headline. Wetware processors are alive, so they need nutrients, controlled temperature, sterile handling, stable interfaces, and continuous monitoring. Their behavior can drift over hours, days, or longer. That means reliability and verification are not side issues. They are part of the computing cost. Silicon has decades of standardization behind it. Biological computing is promising, but it is not yet dependable infrastructure. The practical near-term picture is hybrid computing, not replacement. Silicon remains best for exact mathematics, high-speed transactions, storage, and deterministic instructions. Wetware, if it matures, may specialize where adaptation, pattern recognition, or energy-efficient learning matters most. The future is not brain versus computer. The design question is division of labor. Which processor handles which workload? And how does the combined system prove success? The direct answer is yes. Living human neurons can now be connected to digital systems and studied as computational hardware. The other answer is no. They have not replaced conventional computers. Their value depends on evidence across accuracy, learning behavior, latency, reliability, lifespan, and total energy cost. So measure the workload first. Then choose silicon, wetware, or both. That is the clear benchmark-based recap.